Every life has a soundtrack. Join me as we invite guests to share their journey through music, one song at a time. 10 moments, 10 memories. I'm your host, Sean, and welcome to 10 Tracks.
Are you ready?
Welcome to 10 Tracks. My guest today is Nora. Nora is an independent artist known for her honest lyrics, warm energy, and girl next door perspective. She talks about growth, vulnerability, and what it really means to find her place in the world. Through her music and message, Nora reminds listeners that it's okay to take up space, show up as yourself, with flaws, feelings, and all. Nora, welcome to 10 Tracks.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
Where are you in the world?
I am in Nashville, Tennessee right now.
Okay. And that's home for you right now?
That is home for me. Since 5 years ago, that's been home for me.
Okay. So tell me where you grew up and background.
Yeah, I grew up in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Um, there, I went to a smaller school. I did a lot of theater, choir, um, vocal lessons, all the things. And yeah, then I went to college in Philadelphia at Drexel University. I transferred to Belmont University, which is how I got to Nashville. But yeah, as a kid, I was, always doing the things, the dance, the theater, the choirs, anything that I could get my hands on music wise, I was down for and into. Um, yeah, so that's kind of where I'm from.
And the music that you do you write this yourself or is it just you collaborating with other musicians?
Yeah, I write my stuff by myself unless I bring in a co-writer, which would usually be my brother. And in this case, on my project, he has written and he helped produce my project this year. But yeah, I find that it's a little bit easier for me to write by myself just because I feel like I can be really honest and
Hmm.
really vulnerable. Obviously, you can be that way when you're alone. And then my brother obviously is someone who I'm fully trusting of, and so I feel comfortable sharing things with him too. So.
Yeah. Musically though, I mean, is now Nashville a big influence on what you're doing or because I mean, obviously that's quite a big music scene.
Yeah, definitely. I would say my dad always like listened to country growing up, and Pennsylvania has its like little pockets of being a little bit country.
Hmm.
But I would have never considered myself to sing that way or, whatever. But since moving to Nashville, I think it definitely has had inspiration on what I write and kind of melodies that I choose maybe, but I don't know, it's funny because I definitely still classify myself as like indie pop, but I think Nashville's songwriting in general has kind of left its mark a little bit on me, and I use it every now and then as inspiration.
But you originally moved to Nashville for work, for a job, not for music, is that correct?
I
Or
moved here for college, and then I got a
college?
job right out of
Okay.
college. And I was doing the whole corporate lifestyle. And it was still like within the entertainment industry. It was like a tour marketing job,
Hmm.
but it just like was not for me. And I always thought to myself, like, if I'm spending this much time on other people's, it's like your whole like 9 to 6. You're in the office. It's a, adult thing. And I was like, if I'm spending all this time working on other people's tours and like working for someone else, I'll never be able to do it for myself. The time just like was not there. So I took the leap of faith and I was like, I'm going to serve and pursue music because I'll regret it if I don't.
Wow. Yeah. Um, I think that is great because trust me, you don't want to get stuck in just a corporate job that can train you for a couple of years,
Right.
especially artistically and creatively. So it does make sense. But I think there's a lot of artists who have had to do types of jobs as they are trying to work on their what they want to do in their art. So
Hmm.
a lot of
Well,
pathways.
yeah, you'll see it in Nashville. Like It's almost like every Uber driver, every server you have, it's like, what do you do? And they're like, music. So it's just a grind here, which I really like because it's a little bit motivating. You know, it kind of like lights a fire under your ass. Like we're all doing it. We're all here for the same thing. We're all in the same area, and it's cool. It really is cool. And there's music everywhere, like
Yeah.
live music everywhere. It's a completely different city. I just feel like you don't get that anywhere else.
I used to live in LA and moved there just more for the sunshine and the mountains and the sea, for the
Hmm.
lifestyle, not for Hollywood and all that. And so when you'd meet people, it would be that kind of, do you work in the industry or what do you, how can you help my career? That was basically what people
Right,
would be like, what are
right.
you going to do
There's
for
that.
me?
Yeah,
So
there's
I
that
meant,
here too,
yeah.
which is a hard part about it.
But now just kind of you're focusing on your music and you've released some songs already.
Yes, I have. I have a project out called Just Words. And it's kind of like a culmination of the past 2 years of my life, just songs that I've written that were pivotal for me.
Where do you draw your inspiration from?
I draw my inspiration from my own experiences. My songs are very like they're written firsthand. I think it's a little bit harder for me to write from somebody else's perspective, which is something I actually want to try to do. But I mean, they're all just from my experiences, whether that's relationships, friendships, missing home, just kind of things that I felt. And it's also funny because I feel like I say in the songs things that I could never really say out loud to someone. And so I'd like to think that my writing is super honest.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, your song "Kiss My Ass" is pretty direct.
Yes. That one is definitely well, I like explain that one to people and I'm like, it's funny because if you met me, you'd be like, you would not ever say that to someone because I'm a little bit I don't like confrontation. I'm a little shy in that way. But that song is what I should have said and what I would have said if I had more of a backbone and wasn't a people pleaser. It's like
Okay.
my alter ego.
But this is a chance for you to kind of release. So you writing and creating into the songs is a way to kind of express sometimes that maybe you hold back in, but still with an artistic, so it's not complete autobiographical.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. Absolutely.
Um, let's dive into your 10 tracks.
Yay.
You're gonna have to work with me a little bit on some of these, but the
Okay.
first one is Macy. I know I did it in order that you gave.
Oh, perfect. That's great.
Macy Peters. This is on you.
Yes. This song is so good. I found this song probably like 5 years ago, or maybe it was like four. It was a little bit ago. It was a couple years ago. And I fell in love with Maisie Peters because I think she's a really honest songwriter. And this song is kind of like refusing somebody's responsibility, like or refusing responsibility for someone else's actions.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like when you put your hands up and you're like, this is not my problem anymore and I can't fix it and this is on you. And I just love this song. I think her lyrics are so relatable and they're very direct as well. Like she paints the picture exactly how she wants.
When you shared the songs with me, I listened to them, not really knowing quite a few of them. I didn't know the artist that well or anything, so I just listened to the song and just wanted to hear it, kind of what it was. And I listened to this song in particular, and I was like, okay, she's pretty to the point and very,
Yeah.
firm with some of her words. And then when I did a little bit of digging, then I realized she's English. So then I'm
Yes.
like, okay, now it makes sense because in a way, I think main more. I don't want to say she's mainstream, but I would say artists that seem to be a little bit more accessible on the radio. U.S. artists tend to be less direct if they're maybe have a little bit of a punk edge or something. But then you look at like Lily Allen, who's also
Mhm.
British, which could be an influence on her, etc. So then I see where their lyrics tend to be more how they speak in
Right.
person. And so
Yes.
that transfers into some of their songs. So that's kind of, but I did like the background of the song and how what she said as well.
Yeah, I just think she's again very direct, and I think you'll see throughout my songs a little bit. A few other of those, they're very direct, like JP Saxe. We'll get to his, but he's like one of my all times, and they have a song together. And I
Okay.
just think like it's like you sing like you talk, and I think I really enjoy that.
Yeah. It's a little bit fresh compared to
Mhm.
just trying to pretend to be one character always when really there's things you want to say. And I think there's been a
Right,
lot of artists throughout time that kind of they've been able to do their art. Like I was saying to you a bit earlier, this is a chance for you to kind of have that alter ego kind of come out
right.
and do. Now, so moving to Nashville from your home. Now, do you have family in Nashville with you?
So when I first moved, I didn't. And then I coerced my family to move. Not my whole family, but my cousin and my brother. They live here and we all live in the same house. So
Okay.
it's like
Wow.
yeah, it's like a whole family fun thing.
Yeah, that's great. That's at
Yeah.
least it gives you a little bit more kind of a connection to not just be there by yourself.
Yeah, totally. It gives me connection, it gives me like security, like knowing that you have two people who are ride or die for you, you
Hmm.
know, having my back here. So, it's nice.
And now not working, so this is kind of becoming your full time. Is you're focusing on the music? Are you playing live anywhere yet?
I'm getting a few every now and then, but we're kind of focusing on like putting the stuff out. I have a show actually in 2 weeks, and I'm playing the EP, which I'm really excited for. But I am still serving. Like I still do the whole Nashville grind. Like I'm serving and doing music. So,
Yeah. What do you play any instruments?
I play guitar and piano not well. Enough that I can write a song, not enough that I can impress anybody.
So you don't play it live, like if you're on stage
No.
with it? No, but
Mm-mm.
just
I
in
want to. I want to. Just not there yet.
what will be your instrument of choice then?
Probably piano.
Piano. Yeah,
Mm.
that's lovely. I really like the song "Kiss My Ass" though. I think your voice is really nice, and
Thank you.
the song very melodic, even though it has a little bit of a like um, country nod,
Hmm.
I would say,
Right.
but it's not trying. It's not trying to be. I think it's just kind of
Right.
a complimentary nod, maybe I would say.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. That's kind of what I was getting at when I was explaining like the influence Nashville has on me. Like there is like some like just because I'm here and I'm listening to it all the time, it's everywhere. It obviously has some kind of impact on what I'm doing. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, let's jump to your second track.
Okay. It's one of my
This
favorites.
is Michael Bublé, Home.
So good. This song is a song that was played in the car when I was really young, like from the time I was young. My mom had this specific like album in her car when she would take me to dance or school. And I just think in general from listening to his voice as a child, his voice is comforting, but like his voice is just comforting. He has one of the greatest voices in my opinion. And this song in particular is kind of like that deep homesickness feeling.
Yeah.
And obviously, I feel that being away from my family who's in Pennsylvania. And I think there's just been so much change in my life, like just like internally in me over the past few years that I just sometimes I miss home and I miss the way things were. And I just love this song. I think this song is like, when people are sick and they eat chicken noodle soup, like this is that in a song.
Yeah. I definitely heard this little sadness because of being
Yeah.
away and things. And it's this special feeling. And it's funny because I have a lot of songs that I are like in my favorites, which tend to be something on this vein because I've, lived in
Mhm.
many places and moved away. I mean, I left like when I was like 22, I left, I grew up in New Orleans
Okay.
and moved away from my family very young, moved to London then. And so I kind of can relate. When I was listening to this, I didn't hear this before. I know him, of course, but like this song in particular, it was like so relatable because I think,
Yeah.
when you're traveling or when you are away a lot, There's,
Mhm.
certain things you miss of having that. And sometimes it's hard to go back because
Right.
you change, even though the
Hmm.
place doesn't change. But
Yes, that
you find a way to meet in the middle somewhere. And I think that's the most important part.
agreed. I also just love how he takes the time to acknowledge, like, he's like, another sunny day. Like, I'm in these great places and I am having so much fun, but there is always that little string that pulls that's like, oh, but I miss
Yeah.
home, you know? It's such a beautiful
Is
song. I love it.
is that also what you pull into some of your lyrics when you're writing is, you know, put it in a bit of missing home, but also, like when you grew up and things like that. And
Yeah, definitely. I have a song called Since I've Been Gone, and that song is basically about everything being the same when you go home except for you and you feel like you've changed. And that's just like a really uncomfortable feeling going back to the place that used to be your everything and being like, do I fit in anymore? And I'm feeling really out of place. And that's something that I struggled with in the past 2 years. So, yeah, definitely inspiration is coming from that.
yeah. I think it's also though, as much as it is difficult for
Hmm.
you as the person, but also maybe the place when you're going back to home, it's also part of like growth,
Yeah.
because you're seeing yourself and it's not so much that you're trying to change because you can still be the same person. I mean, no matter where I live and things, people ask me where are you from? I say New Orleans, even though I haven't really lived there, but it's kind of like who you are in your
Right.
DNA. So I think that's always you take that piece with you,
Hmm.
and kind of bring it wherever you go. Um,
Yeah, I totally agree.
let's jump into now your third song.
Okay.
This is Sarah Bareilles,
Yes.
Gravity.
Yes. This song, which also a lot of these songs, I probably should give context. They're all pretty sad or on like the angrier or sad side. And I love that stuff so much. Like that's the type of music I listen to if I'm happy or I'm sad. I just really can appreciate like an honest sad song. And I think melodies and sad songs are usually like my favorite. But yes, just to give context, these are all sad. I am not a sad person, but I do love sad music. This song specifically is another song that my mom would play all the time in the car. And there's this one note at the end that we'd both try to hit and never sounded great. But it's just like there's so much nostalgia to the song. And as I grew up, the meaning of it changed because when I was younger, it was kind of just like, oh, whatever. I just like the melody. I don't really know what the words mean. And as I got older, I was like, oh my gosh, this is about being like constantly pulled back to like someone who's complicated or someone who's a little toxic. And I've experienced that. I think it's like everybody experiences that at one point in their life. Like you have that person that you are drawn to and you go back to, and
Hmm.
it's not good for you. And this song like perfectly just wraps that up.
Yeah. Um, I was she popular for being in like singing in musicals or like on Broadway and stuff too, or has she been in film?
Yes, she did the Waitress musical.
The Waitress.
It's
Okay,
like one of
perfect.
my favorite musicals. Go figure,
Yeah,
but yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, but I think saying like sad songs. I honestly, I was talking to another guest about this, and sometimes I don't actually think they're sad. I think there's so much like from a personal perspective,
Mhm,
and they may be talking about subject matter that most people might just think are sad.
mhm. True.
Um, but it just depends on the you know how you want to place it. One friend of
Right.
mine was talking about this band, The National. I don't know if you know them, but they're
Mhm,
probably close to my age or older. But they are still playing, and I guess they have people of different ages that are fans. And one old colleague of mine, she was saying to me, they're like angry music. So I was like, okay, I didn't know that was a thing. But the point is like, um, I think people pigeon stuff just because they can't relate to it or don't understand it sometimes.
True. Maybe a better word for it is it's like reflective music.
Yeah.
Because like all the songs that I picked are songs that I know I go back to when I'm in a certain situation and I'm like, okay, I needed that because I'm going through that. So I think
Yeah.
it's just like thinking about it and reflective.
Where do you really want to take your music?
Like the way I write.
Well, just in, in general, you have these songs that just came out, and, what is your like next steps of how you want to, do you want to play these more live, or do you want to look at writing new songs, or
Hmm.
what's
I think
next?
I think both. I think any opportunity to perform is great, and I would be really excited to sing these songs that I have on this project out. So definitely that. But I also, I mean, I'm writing a lot now, and I have a lot of stuff that I've written at the same kind of time as I've written the EP, and so, or maybe a little bit after. But there's like a lot of stuff that I need to go through and figure out like what I want to do for a whole album because I know I really want to put out an album.
Okay.
Like a thought out storyline album kind of deal.
Do you want it to have almost like an entire theme connected to it, or not necessarily like a concept album, but more like just how all these puzzle pieces of the puzzle fit together, or is it just each piece will be their own piece and then somehow it fits?
I think I would want cohesive because they're all written like they really all are written from my experiences in the past 2 years. So I think I could figure out a way to put them in a certain order to make it make sense to me. And they all kind of go hand in hand. I think the tricky part is just like making sure I don't write too much about the same thing. And so that's when, like, again, with me liking reflective music, not sad music, I think I tend to write that way too. And I'd really like to step outside and write a happy song and like write a love song. And I just don't do that very often. So maybe that'll be my New Year's resolution, Sean. I'm gonna really try to just write a little bit happier a few times.
A reflective song with sunshine.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Sunshine and
Okay.
rainbow.
Yes, exactly. Skittles,
Yeah,
beer, and sunshine.
yeah.
Um, Are there artists that you kind of are heavily influenced when you're looking at writing, or you getting like influence from not just your, these 10 songs obviously have a specific point, but I'm just curious if there are some artists that you kind of go, because you mentioned, I think I read you have done some opera or chorus music and stuff like that, so you have kind of influences from all over.
Yes. I did a lot of, I was classically trained growing up, which is one of the biggest blessings to this day. I'm very grateful my parents put me through that. Um, and I would say like Sarah Bareilles and Michael Bublé, they like one are just they have a I don't even know how to explain it. Michael Bublé obviously is like classically, his voice is stunning, amazing, all the things. And so I think music like that inspires me. Sarah Bareilles is like a little bit more like theatrical, which is also just in my bones from doing it for so long. And I love theater. I think it's one of the best things. It's so fun pretending and, like living the lives of someone else in a play. I love it. So I think those two, like, they kind of built me when I was younger.
Hmm.
And then as I got older, I would say like JP Saxe is one of my all-time favorite songwriters. And I just think he's, again, you'll notice a theme, like very honest. And his writing is kind of like talking, singing, but also the melodies he uses and the instruments are very like next level in my opinion. Like, cause he'll do some like jazz numbers and like the piano is crazy. And I think I can appreciate putting the two together. Um, but I do like a more like classic vibe, I would say. That's like my all-time favorite. But I've been trying to, go out and like explore a little bit with production and everything. So there's like some songs on the EP that are a little bit more upbeat and use instruments that I wouldn't have used before, like synths.
Synthesizers.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. And any samples?
Um, there might be a few. But for the most part, we didn't use too many.
Right. Okay. Let's jump to track 4.
Okay.
This is Ryan Betty, White Teeth.
Yes. This song is one that I've listened to it for probably like a year or two, and I always look up the explanation when I'm listening to it because it makes me feel so intense, like about my emotions. Honestly, his whole album is amazing. But whenever I look it up, we're all like, I don't know what it means. Like, no one can really figure out like the real deeper meaning because I think the song is up for interpretation.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure, but I get a lot of like nostalgia from it and just like the changing of life and growing up, and it just kind of captures that whole feeling for me personally. But I put this one in specifically because it's the melody that hits more for me. And I kind of just, anytime I listen to it, it's like a different scenario in my head. Like I'm kind of picturing something different every time I listen to it. And I love that about it. And I love him. I think his voice is incredible. And he's just awesome at like creating the moment and creating a vibe.
Mm. The when you're a lot of your songs, would you say they're from the heart, or do you put any kind of politics or more kind of, I don't know, messages into any of your songs? I mean, I think Kiss My Ass was specifically maybe to a person that you were
Maybe.
falling out with or something like that, or
I don't know, Sean. What? Yeah, definitely. Um, for sure. I would say a lot of my stuff does come from the heart, though. I think I'm a wear my heart on my sleeve kind of girl. And it's a little bit, it's funny because I'm not great at confrontation, but you're gonna know when I'm sad, mad, happy, or, whatever the other emotion is, anxious. I
yeah.
do wear my heart on my sleeve, and I think I do the same in my music. I think, if it's about someone, they'll probably know who it's about. Sometimes there's not too much up for interpretation, which is something that would be fun to write, but my stuff's pretty direct, I'd say.
Um, in your intro, it said something about, not having things figured out exactly. And I mean, is this something that weighs on your mind? Because I think, as you're a new artist, there's a lot to explore, a lot to sort of figure out, and a lot to just kind of go
Mhm.
through. And so I think there's a lot, it would be difficult if everything was figured out.
Totally. I think it would actually be worse if everything was figured out, which is something I have to remind myself of. It's intimidating, right? Like, there's so many boxes you want to check off, and there's so many like things you want to explore and try. And I think a lot of times I end up putting myself in a box, and then I stay in the box, and then a year later I'm like, okay, wait. Why was I even in the box? I just put myself there, like
Hmm.
I'm not being forced to be in this box. So, I don't know. I think it gets difficult in that way, but yeah, I don't know. Does that answer your question?
I think so. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. It wasn't a trick question. So it was just
Okay.
more of um, trying to, like, if people have things figured out, I think it doesn't matter age. I think sometimes people don't have things figured out. And as you see some
Right.
artists on their fifth album and they still don't have it figured out. So I
Right.
think, as anybody, you don't have to be an artist to just grow and kind of continue with life. It tends to be slightly, you still figure things as you go or make it up.
Right. There's kind of a beauty in it, and it shows growth. And yeah, I mean, I definitely don't have it figured out, but I'm taking it day by day.
It also, in some ways, helps with disappointment because when it's not figured out, there's nothing to be just like, where you might have something, okay, it has to be this way. I have to go
Mhm.
down this road, or that's the way to do it. And then if you don't, or if you do and it doesn't work out exactly how you want it, and then it seems like disappointment. Whereas if you're like, okay, well, we'll try whichever way. And then,
Right. Well, for instance, the EP that I put out, it's like I went into there and these songs were like pretty. I mean, I only really have ever sang them acoustic. So like production wise, we kind of were like, well, let's just see what happens. And there's so many of them that I'm like, this is not what I have would have ever pictured when I first went into it, because it was like just me, a guitar, and it was, bare bones. And it was a little bit more like sad, but like for instance, the Since I've Been Gone song that I referenced earlier, that one was like just like a sad home song for me. And on the
Hmm.
project, it's like an 80s inspired song that's very upbeat, and it kind of takes on a little bit of a new meaning. And I think that's another really fun part about music and being an artist is like these songs can take on another meaning for me. Like even after I wrote them, I'm like, oh, this like isn't as sad, and like this does feel like a growth song, you know?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And
Yeah.
that's actually interesting because you have the kind of raw version and what kind of where you
Hmm.
started from, and then this is where you went.
Right. Right.
And some of the songs that you kind of wrote, then your brothers kind of producing those, kind of putting some of the music together and all that. Is that
Yeah, so we go to Aiden Gray. Aiden Gray produces all the songs. My brother, though, is like, I trust him with everything, and I think he has like one of the greatest ears for music. And he will help me write songs. Like, if I'm like, hey, I really want like to write on this, or like, I can't think of how to say this in the right way. Or we just start songs from scratch too. But he was in like every recording session, and he'd be like, hey, I think we should try this. I think we should do this. So all three of us kind of work together to figure it out.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Let's jump to track 5.
Okay.
This is Rihanna. What now?
Yes. This song is like a little bit of an angry song, I guess. This song is kind of what I play when I'm at my wit's end, and I just can't seem to understand what the next move is. And I think that also is something that a lot of artists experience, or not an artist experience. I think it's popular in every age too. It's kind of like a, okay, like I'm in this situation and what's next? What now? And it's like kind of a little bit of like that cycle feeling of, okay, I'm in the same loop, I'm in the same loop, I'm in the same loop, and it's hard to get out of that. And this song kind of just is like a moment, you know?
But this is it almost sounds like because I didn't know this. I mean, I obviously know quite a bit Rihanna songs,
Yeah.
but like this is almost like you're saying her wearing her heart on her sleeve. She's kind of
Mm-hmm.
being very
Definitely.
raw, but sharing quite a bit about, a tough time, but based
Right.
around her heart hurting and
Right. It's like self-discovery and her trying to navigate going through these really intense emotions. And I think I feel that sometimes. Like, it's like after a breakup or something happens in your life, or something doesn't happen in your life, and you're just feeling down and out. And it's like, just like that, it's how you're processing it. And it's a frustrating feeling. And I think this song is frustrating. And that's why I like it. Because I don't know if there's too many songs that I feel like, oh, like she's feeling frustrated. But this song is very outright frustrated.
mm. Is there any music in Nashville that you've heard? It could be just, I don't know, local places or stuff like that, that feels a bit like what you're trying to do is kind of indie pop.
Yeah, I would say
Is there?
so. I live in East Nashville, and that's a little bit more of like a indie scene, I guess you could say. There's definitely still countries everywhere, which I love because I love country music. But I think East Nashville definitely has an indie scene. Like there's house shows, there's backyard shows. It's a really neat vibe.
Mhm. Are there any artists that you would like to collaborate with
In Nashville,
anywhere?
anywhere. I mean, I hate to beat a dead horse, but JP Saxe or Sarah Bareilles would probably be my two number ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think they're so talented. And they seem like really nice people.
Let's get to number 6.
Okay.
This is Gene Dawson and SZA.
Yes. Yes. This song,
This No
did you
Seasons?
listen to it? Yeah. Did you
Yeah, I
listen to
did.
this
Yeah,
song?
yeah.
Okay. This song is again one of those songs, kind of like the White Teeth song, that I think is up for interpretation. Um, but I think the main thing about it is it's like there's no season. So I grew up in Pennsylvania, and this is just how I interpret it. I grew up in Pennsylvania, we get all four seasons. And with seasons bring different things. Like summer, usually it's like everyone's like, oh, we're happy in summer. Fall is definitely reflective, a little bit like depressing. People always say seasonal depression kind of hits fall, winter.
Okay.
Winter, you have your snow. It's a little bit more depressing again. And then spring, it's like, oh, okay, like there's some hope. And that's how I look at the seasons. And I know some of my friends look at it that way. And I think the point of the song in my head is like, he's coming from a place in California where there's no seasons. And so
Yeah,
he's feeling
Southern
like
California.
yeah, he's feeling like he's in this constant loop of no emotion. And so I think, or I guess maybe the same emotion, or again, it's like that cycle feeling that like, why can't I get out of this? And like, it's like I'm on like the rat race and it's just not ending. And I think I relate to that song a lot because I've definitely felt that way. And I catch myself, you know, being like, okay, I'm like the type of person that never gets over anything. I don't know if you've ever seen that like quote, but like things have happened to me 5 years ago. I could think about them now and be like, oh my goodness, that is sad. And it's like, just get over it, Nora. And so I think I relate to this song a lot because sometimes I find myself stuck in feelings from the past or just stuck in general. And
Hmm.
I think this song perfectly encapsulates that.
I
So
think that's part of it could have a couple of different meanings, like you said. I think
Mhm.
the no seasons is a just, if you look at places like Southern California,
Yeah.
LA, that's probably par for what is the flat meaning. But I
Mhm.
think without seasons, and if you're trying to look for a deeper meaning, and that could be completely just crazy, but like transformation, as you go
Mhm.
from summer to fall to winter to spring, there is this transformation. As you say, people do kind of emotionally change. They're psyching themselves up, and I think it's human nature, and it's with all
Right.
animals. They're preparing, winter's coming or summer's coming, and
Right.
so that could be how when you don't have any seasons, you're just in this flat kind of. I don't want to say nothing because I lived in LA and I love it there, so I don't want to be like people. You can get away or
Right.
go to the mountains in 2 hours if you want snow. Um, but I think it probably has a deeper than just you know
Mhm.
that picking on LA.
Yeah, for sure. I also just think like, it's easy to get frustrated or I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for, but it's easier. I get too comfortable. Maybe that's the
Yeah.
word. It's easy to get too
Um,
comfortable in your situation.
yeah, complacent.
Yes. Yes. That's the word.
Yeah,
It is
exactly.
though. So I think, I don't know. I think this song is just kind of like that complacent feeling and being like, oh, I don't even know what to do. Their
We
voices are
get,
also crazy on this song. They're so good.
but one is a bit of a, is he kind of, he's not really a rapper. He sings too, or kind of talks, and then the other is a singer.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I think his voice is so cool though. It's like super like I don't even know how you would describe it. There's a lot of like grit to it.
And he's from California, Gene Dawson.
I
So,
believe so.
yeah. All right. We get to track 7, and this is your JP Sax.
Yes.
Explain
Yes,
why.
yes. This song, well, we could do a whole nother podcast of just me talking about JP Sax songs. That's how much I love this man's music. It's a little ridiculous. This song in particular, though, is
How did you
a
get into
song.
him?
How did I get into him? I honestly, the first song I ever heard from him was called 25 in Barcelona, and I don't know where I heard it, but it was a long time ago. Like this, he got me through high school and college,
Okay.
and still to this day. Like I've carried his music with me, And any situation I'm in, like the song always hits no matter what. This song is kind of processing and accepting like a former past relationship. And I think what I like about it so much is or about him is that he says things that, or he puts things in a way that I would have never said them. And I think that's explain you is a great way to describe a past relationship because it's like, I don't even know how to figure you out. Like, I don't even know how to explain you to myself. And, like I'm sitting at my therapist couch or on my therapist couch and I'm like paying way too much money trying to just understand and I just cannot understand you. And I think that's such a relatable feeling for humans, especially in like romantic relationships and breakups.
Mhm.
It's just like I can't even wrap my head around you. And that's what's also wanting me to be pulled back to you is that like I just don't even know. Does that make sense?
It's like in the song, he's kind of saying, I need to let go, but
Hmm.
then I still want you, but then I can't figure this out, how to just figure this out.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the bad side and the upside as well. Or maybe that's not the way to say it, but it's almost like, I don't understand you. And because of that, like, I need to let go. But then it's like, but I don't understand you and I want to. And so I'm like, it's like kind of like a little bit of like a push
A
and pull,
challenge.
in my opinion. Yeah, it's a challenge, which I think is relatable, extremely relatable. And I would have never said it that way. And I love that he did.
In a lot of relationships, it is pretty much like that, especially
Yeah.
as your people are growing or introducing themselves to each other. I think there's that kind of push pull.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
Um, for the songs that you're going to be doing, um, this after the last EP, have you already started writing any of these songs, the new songs?
Yes, I have. I have a honestly like a bunch that I think I want to put out. Obviously, you can't put them all out, but I wish I could. I like really like the era that I wrote in. It was like summer to fall, and I really enjoyed the things that I wrote, and I felt like I was in a really good groove. But I took a little bit of a break when we were kind of putting the project out, and now I'm writing a lot more, and it's kind of different stuff because I feel like the stuff that I was writing in the fall was a little bit more sad and reflective, but I do think the stuff that I'm writing currently, I'm trying to be happier, like I said earlier. So it's definitely a little bit different than before. But yes.
More reflective now, from more reflective perspectives than just one perspective.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
You're bringing other seasons into the mix.
Yes, I am. I
Okay,
am.
that's a good idea. Let's get to track 8.
Okay.
This is a Swedish pop singer called Leon.
Yes.
Hope is a heartache.
Hmm.
I
This
mean, you've
song,
got a lot of artists who are British, Canadian,
yeah, I do,
or
I really do.
quite a
Yeah, I need to go
eclectic
there.
mix.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know what that is, but Hope is a Heartache is it's kind of just like about uncertainty of where everything is headed. And I think, it can be about anything, but this one is about a relationship from what I gather. Um, I don't know, it kind of feels like a one-sided romance a little bit
Mhm.
and like a secret connection with someone. And I don't know, I think the lyrics are fantastic in this song, but it's more so the way the music makes me feel in this song. And I always catch myself like whenever I'm in a relationship playing this specific song and seeing how it makes me feel. It's just one of those songs that I always go back to. And I think Leon is so awesome and her voice is it's like this deep, I don't know, it just provokes emotion out of me every time.
Yeah. Um, I I I never heard of her, so I guess she's a Swedish pop singer, but
Hmm.
this was from 2019.
Hmm.
But it was interesting because I, listened to it a couple of times just to kind of hear, and I like her voice a lot, and that kind of
Yeah.
deeper sound is really cool.
Yeah. I also think she's like She's just like, when you put on a song and you can picture like a whole movie in your head or like a music video, like a montage is going on in your head. Her songs feel that way for me, and I'm like, somebody needs to put one of her songs in a movie. Maybe there already is a song, but like her music is like made for like an intense love story music video, in my opinion.
Are there any artists that you didn't pick on your list here that have kind of that stand out or that just something that you do go back to? Not just as an artist, but personally, it's kind of just for when you have days that you want, inspiration.
Yeah, do you know who Violet Skies is?
I don't think so.
Okay, she's an incredible songwriter, and she reminds me of JP Saxe, that kind of
Okay.
deal. Um, Direct, and her voice is great, and her melodies are awesome. But she's also a very honest songwriter, and I really, really, really appreciate honest songwriters. Like that is just like the theme of what I keep saying, but it's true. Um, I like it before I go out, like just for an instance, or like to give context. Like if I'm getting ready to go out and putting on my makeup, picking out my outfit, like I'm still listening to this music. I'm not listening to like upbeat pop music. I just like love to pretend like I'm in a music video at all times, I guess. Um, but I would say her. Who else would I choose? Hmm. I don't know. Maybe like I think Olivia Rodrigo is awesome. I think she's a very honest songwriter as well, which obviously I love. Um,
Do you
yeah,
listen to the voice first or the lyrics?
lyrics. I think. I think it would go like maybe it would be voice. I think it'd be voice, lyrics, melody are for the importance to me, I guess.
Okay.
I love a voice that provokes emotion.
Okay.
Like if I know that I feel like you can tell when someone's feeling it when they're singing it, and
Yeah.
I really love that.
Let's jump to track 9.
Okay.
This is Lila Vargen.
Yes, downtown. Yeah.
She's from Northern Ireland. I I'm pretty sure I've heard her. Her voice sounded so familiar, and I think I really like her voice a
Yeah,
lot.
me too. Me too.
Uh,
This song is a cover. Which I didn't know until like literally yesterday when I put it in because I was like looking it up because I was trying to get my information together, and it's actually a cover, which I never knew. Um, but I think her voice on this cover is beautiful, and it's like you listen to this one too. You said right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. This song just like I feel like it encompasses that feeling of being in love with someone and you're kind of like in like a bustling city and it paints that picture so well. It's like a very all-consuming love. That's what I gather from the song. But I think her voice on it is spectacular and I love her.
So it looks like I didn't know this was a cover. So it's some Devin Welsh and Matthew Otto Kalidas. So I'm not sure the background of it either.
Me either, but I looked up the cover like the original song
Hmm.
yesterday and I really liked it, but I think I like her version more.
She has a really like I don't know something about her voice. That's why I thought I've heard her before because she
Mm-hmm.
sounds so distinctive.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if she's maybe done where she's collaborated with somebody or something, but it sounded very interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
She has a lot of great songs, and I feel like she's like a hidden gem.
yeah. And there wasn't that much stuff I could find. I had to kind of hunt around to look for her. So I'm gonna do more digging because I actually
Yeah.
want to check it out.
Yeah, you definitely should.
Um, we come to your last song,
Okay.
and this is The Favors.
Yes. Yes. This song is
This came out this year, right?
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's the
This
Hudson.
this was my number one song on Apple, my replay. Um, This song is so insane. The favors actually is Billie
It's
Eilish, her brother
it's her
Phineas.
brother, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Ash, the singer. And
I didn't know who she was, but I'd heard the song Home Sweet Home a
okay,
few months ago, and that's when it first came out, and I remember liking that song a lot. And then I
yeah.
was like, okay, it's Phineas, I think his name is from Billie Eilish's brother, but I didn't know who she was. But I loved her voice in the song when they were singing.
Me too. I think this song is just like bittersweet reflection on a relationship that you really loved at one point.
Hmm.
And this is also like a melody song. Like I just think I I got the chance to go to New York after I heard this song, and I'm not kidding you. I went to the Hudson and I like
It's a
had
hotel, right?
no, it's like a the Hudson like river or lake kind of
Or
deal.
the Hudson River.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a
And
hotel called the Hudson. That's why I was thinking it was, but
oh
yeah, the
really?
Hudson River.
I It could be about that. Maybe it is. I thought it was about the river. And I like had my own moment with my headphones on. Like I needed that moment. It's one of those songs that like it was like, okay, like cool, I'm in New York, but I need to put my headphones on and pretend that I'm in a music video right now. And I just think this song I just think this song I don't even know what I feel when I feel it. It's almost like nostalgia, I guess. It's like bittersweet nostalgia. But it's like I feel like, oh my gosh, there's so much like turmoil in a relationship, but like I also know how much I loved that relationship. And it's like kind of like the art of letting go and like processing that. But I just think this song in general, like melody wise, I watched like how they produced it. And it's just so interesting, like how things come to be. Like I think she came with the idea, and then Phineas got his hands on it, and then they added band, and like the guitar solos in this are nuts. Like I just think
Mm.
it's all just so emotional, and it's like a perfect puzzle. Like the last piece, it feels so completed to me.
And this is the title of the album as well, I think.
Oh, is it?
I think so. Maybe,
Okay.
maybe. But it's interesting because the cover, when I heard the Home Sweet Home, and I remember looking at the album cover, it looks like A Star Is Born with
I see
Barbara
that.
Streisand and Chris Christopherson. So it
Mm-hmm.
was kind of that sort of like a
Mm-hmm.
nod to that in this kind of their version of that. But did he write most of, or does he write most of the stuff for Billie Eilish?
I know they like really work in tandem. I don't know if he's like more on production or if they do both, but I know that he is like very hands-on, or was at least. That's what I've
Yeah.
heard or seen. That's what they say in
Okay.
interviews.
Yeah, yeah. I wasn't like musically of the music wise. I didn't know if he kind of co-wrote that. But it's definitely an interesting, and this is like a new project they started, right? Because she does
Yeah.
her own thing, and then obviously he's in a few different things. But this was something they just kind of, and they've already been playing live, or at least I saw something on online of
Yeah.
them playing live. It's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
this is like their new band. I think they're so cool. I think their stage presence is cool. The way that they dress is cool. It's a little bit more vintage.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think like I think they're sick. I'm like so excited to see what comes next for them.
What's her music like separate? Because I don't know if I've checked out anything of her by like solo. Because she's an artist, and does she act as well, or is she just an artist, like a musician?
I don't know if she acts, but I know that she has her own separate artist career. It's more like I don't know if I don't know if it's really I guess it's pop, but it's like very beautiful. Like I think her songs are very emotional and her voice is big and I don't know. I think there's a lot of I keep using this word, but like there is a lot of grit to her voice. Like when she sings, like you want to think about it and like tear up a little bit, like your eyes swell a little bit. But
Yeah.
I think her voice provokes a lot of emotion. I love that. I love that. If you can't tell, I brought that up like a numerous amount of times. I love when like vocals can provoke emotion. I think it's beautiful.
Yes, and if they don't, then they're not really.
Right.
There's a she's an American singer. Actually, she might be from Pennsylvania, or
Okay.
originally. She's moved to France, and so she's kind of in the jazz world a little bit,
Hmm.
or but she's kind of a bit kind of soul jazz, but called Melody Godot.
Hmm. I don't
You
think I
should
really
check
know
her
that.
out. She has a really cool voice. She had a really horrible when she was younger. I don't know if she was already singing, but she had a got hit by a car on her bike,
Oh
like
my
a
God.
bicycle, and so she's got funny with light. It's really, I
Well,
mean, obviously she's not disfigured or anything, but she has a some problem with light, so she always wears sunglasses no matter, wherever she is. But I think she moved to Paris, and obviously she's got maybe like 3 or 4 albums out now. And she doesn't
cool.
come down here. I wish she would because I live in the South, but she plays obviously in Paris a lot, but her voice is really cool. That blues, kind of like a little bit Nina Simone, but she's not as like heavy
Hmm.
as Nina Simone. She's a lot softer, um, but the music wise is not like jazz. It's actually like slow, kind of dark jazz, but her voice is just incredible. There's
Cool.
definitely sad songs in there too, Nora. So
Great. Perfect. Then I'll love it.
reflective songs that you
Yes,
could
please, Sean. It's
reflect on.
reflective, not sad.
Exactly. But she has it was I forget the album. I'll send you a link to it, but it's a
Okay.
great song that her last album, I don't think she has anything new yet. She maybe did a live album. But her last album that has like a song from Paris with Love or something like that. And then she has another song, If You uh something let me know. And it's so good. So
Okay, I would definitely. That sounds up my alley, so.
um Nora, is there anything like how do people find you? Do you post a lot on your music on Instagram or any other
Yeah,
platforms?
Instagram, TikTok. My Instagram is it's just Nora, and then TikTok is the same. That's where like most of my videos live. But on Apple Music or Spotify, it's just Nora period Nora.
Yeah. Okay. And so they can find all of your new EP that came out.
Yep, it's out. You can find it. It's called Just Words, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope I provoke emotion out of you.
Yeah. Um, and and maybe people will check out your kind of Kiss My Ass song too, so they can
Yes. And if you're feeling salty about someone in your life, I have something for you.
send them that song.
Yes, yes. That was not my proudest moment. I love the song, but I was a little rude in it.
It's emotion. So
It's unnecessary, you know?
Nora, thank you so much for being a guest and sharing your songs. And I really look forward to hear more of your music. And I really, like I said, I honestly really liked your voice and the songs that I've heard. And I wish you so much success. And I can't wait to see where you go and to keep following your heart. And that's probably the best way to go and not get side railed or other things.
Agreed. Thank you so much. I love what you're doing. I think this is sick. And that was such a fun conversation. I had so much fun.
Whenever I say goodbye, I tell everybody to be kind, be humble, and be loved. And I wish
Mhm.
that to you as well.
I wish that to you too. Thank you.
Thank you, Nora. Pretty vacant times.
Are you ready?
It suffers for his sports jacket.